These are critical corners for this Grand Prix.
Hamilton's going to try again, this time on the inside, a continent touch! Verstappen is out of the race and that's a big crash into Copse! Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen coming together, Hamilton continues on, Charles Leclerc now leads the British Grand Prix, but for the second time this season, Hamilton and Verstappen clash and tangle on the opening lap, but this time it is ending in dramatic consequences for the championship leader.
TB, what are you doing in my chair? Come on, I'm the bloody star of this show. It's unbelievable. What the bloody hell's this on your back, TB? What the... Oh, that's unbelievable. You're going to get me banned from bloody YouTube. And I'm sure that's not how you spell it either. Oh, TB, who's been a very naughty bear then? Who's been a naughty bear? Come on then, punishment time, TB. Oh my goodness, you're such a very, very, very naughty bear. Naughty TB, naughty TB. Oh my goodness, what a naughty bear you are. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, TB, you've got to go now because they keep saying that you're on too long. Yes, you're on too long. No, I know. They just don't understand the special bond between a man and his bear. Oh, TB. Oh, yeah. I love you, big bad bear. I love you, big bad bear. Oh, okay. I've got to do the Hookster Talks now. It's time to go. Bye-bye. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Hookster Talks. And in the UK right now we're in a heat wave and I am sweating my balls off. Yes, literally. Anyway, Silverstone Grand Prix. I mean, nothing happened during that race, did it? I mean, it was boring, wasn't it? I mean, I was like, oh God, not another one to fall asleep over. No, I have to admit that for the first time in the championship, and I had the opportunity to watch the race in its entirety, and I did. Yes, I did. Just for once, yes. We had a red flag when Lewis Hamilton hit Maxi Boy Verstappen, and I know that Twitter has absolutely exploded over this. In fact, the whole of F1 has exploded over this, so I'm not going to keep rinsing it because it has been completely rinsed now. All I'm going to say is, yes, of course it was Lewis Hamilton's fault because he hit Verstappen. That can be no question. But everyone needs to calm their tits down because it was a racing incident. And that's it. That's what it was. It's happened so many times in the past. I mean, look at the amount of times Senna hit other drivers. Alan Prost, Japan, I think it was 1993. I mean, you know, deliberately took him out. Deliberately. So, you know, it's happened loads of times. Michael Schumacher, I mean, let's not even start with Michael Schumacher. It happens, okay? It's motor racing. But one thing to remember is that Lewis Hamilton did not do that on purpose. There is no way at 180 miles an hour he was suddenly going along and he thought, oh, if I can just catch his rear wheel at just the right angle.
But if we're quick enough, we can knock out his right front wheel.
I can take him out. There's just no way. A robot would only be able to think that fast. The human brain just wouldn't be able to do it. So no, it was not deliberate. But of course, it was his fault because he did hit Max. But it was, at the end of the day, just a racing incident. So there you go. Maxi Boy was out. He went into the wall, or into the tyres, I should say, at 51G. Yes, 51G, and it was a very nasty accident, and I got a serious Senna shiver for a few moments after he went straight into the tyres. But he got out of the car, and thankfully he was okay. He had to go to hospital for a checkup. Oh, Ice Cream Man's here! Ice Cream Man's here! Well done, Mr. Ice Cream Man! Oh, for fuck's sake, right in the middle of a Hookster Talks, the fucking Ice Cream Man turns up. Jesus Christ. Hang on, I'll show him to you. 'Cause he's right outside my window. Hang on. There he is, Mr. Oh, he's gone now. Bye, Mr. Ice Cream Man. Fucking hell. Yeah, anyway, sorry about that. Fucking Ice Cream Man, right in the middle of the Hookster Talks. It happens every single day. He pulls up right outside my window. Anyway, as I was saying, Max, of course, had that very nasty crash into the tyre wall. We did get out okay, went to the hospital, had some checks, and Superman Max was absolutely fine. There were some questions about whether he had broken a rib or even bruised some ribs, but it looks like he's going to be okay, which is going to be great news for the next Grand Prix, of course, and also great news for Max, because sometimes when you do a shunt like that, it's very, very difficult to come back from, and he could have been out of action for quite a few months. So there you go. So what exactly did happen? Well, it was obvious. They were racing each other. Yes, it's a seldom used term these days in Grand Prix racing, but yes, they were racing each other, and it just didn't work at one point, and Lewis put Max into the wall. But as I say, it was not in any way deliberate. It was just one of those racing incidents. Now, of course, everyone knows I'm not a huge fan of Lewis Hamilton, although I was when he first started his career, and in 2007 and 2008 I was a Lewis Hamilton fanboy. But I will have to come out to his defence there and say that, you know, it was just a racing incident. And yes, of course, some of the things that he did during the race and after the race were slightly questionable. But what you have to remember is when they're sitting in the car doing the race, they actually get very, very little information on what is going on. If you've ever heard the team radio, the actual info that the driver gets is very, very limited indeed. So Lewis wouldn't have known really that Max would have had to have gone to the hospital until way after the race. So you can't really blame Lewis for that. Now, of course, one thing you can blame people for are, of course, the messages that Lewis received after the race. Of course, that is not on whatsoever. Now, one of the things that I don't agree with is the taking the knee. I think that needs to stop. I've always thought that it was unnecessary because it's just having no effect. And in fact, what it's trying to do is actually the negative effect, because now it's focusing purely on racism. I mean, I've never agreed with racism myself. I believe in equality, and if I see a person of colour on the high street, I don't look at them as that. I don't say, oh look, there's a black man. No, how I look at them is the same as everybody else. And this taking the knee is just pointless, and it's just focusing on the people of colour, and it's actually marginalising them even more because it's putting them into the limelight, when a lot of them, you know, they just want to be the same as everyone else, which I think a lot of people do. So it's just, this taking the knee is just pointless, and it needs to stop. And I knew as soon as it would start in Formula 1 that it would continue and go on and on and on. So just stop it now, okay? It serves no purpose. But what does serve a good purpose is stamping out those messages that were sent to Lewis Hamilton. There is no place in this world for messages like that, and that's the real focus, and that's the real purpose that we need to clamp down on. None of this sort of taking the knee, which, as I say, is just completely pointless. Anyway, there you go. Now, of course, the top three was Hamilton, Leclerc and Bottas, and of course none of you are going to get anywhere near to that because a lot of you, of course, picked Maxi Boy Verstappen in there for your top three. So unfortunately, no one got even close this week to the top three predictions. I was very, very happy to see that some people had done a tribute, I think it was Sky, to Murray Walker, where you had to send in your best Murrayisms. As I said in my last video, I hope they did something for Murray Walker, because as I said, he was the iconic voice of Formula 1, especially at Silverstone. So it was great to see that, great to see indeed that people were sending in their own Murrayisms for the Grand Prix. So yes, it was a very exciting race. Well, it was after lap one, and of course we had the red flag, which is coming out very, very frequently this time. Has Codemasters got a red flag yet in their F1 2021 game? Have they? I'm not quite sure. We'll have to check on that one. But yes, I hope they have, because it's going to be coming out quite regularly. It looks towards the end of the season as well, because this battle between Max and Lewis is going to be heating up even more. Don't think that was a one-off, because it's going to get even worse towards the end of the season. So yeah, it was a pretty exciting race. It had boring bits, of course. But yeah, it was pretty decent. And of course, Lewis Hamilton then went on to win the race with Charles Leclerc in second place in the Ferrari. A fantastic result from Charlie Boy. He did very, very well indeed. And so that was it basically for the Silverstone Grand Prix. So we will get our predictions in on the next video, not on this one, for I think it's the next round at Hungary. See what you think of that round. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always, and this has been another Hookster Talks. I will catch you in the next video.